I want to check in on the war in Ukraine. With the weather getting warmer, Ukrainian troops are preparing for a fresh offensive from Russia. Earlier this week, Finland became the latest country to join the NATO military alliance. This is not going to help the resistance, of course, of Ukraine in the here and now. I took up the issue with Yuriy, who's a special advisor to Ukraine's defence minister. He's in Australia at the moment, and he was in Bendigo today inspecting some of the bushmasters we've donated to the war effort.
Good day, Chris, and many thanks for inviting me. Now, indeed, for us, the fact that more countries are now joining NATO is only logical, and it only shows that the Kremlin's plans have failed. They have failed when it comes to their desire to shrink NATO. They wanted to make NATO smaller. They've ended up with having the NATO border twice as big with Russia as it used to be before the large-scale invasion. So we welcome this move. We hope Ukraine is next in line at some point in the future. And of course, the situation on the ground right now is very difficult. But Ukrainian armed forces are holding up in the hottest places like Bakhmut, Avdiivka, Marinka. These are the World War I trench warfare situations, but we are holding out. And of course, we are preparing for our counter-offensive.
Yeah, it is very much a land battle. And of course, as the weather improves going into summer, the mobility is increased. You've got Australian bushmasters. You've been inspecting them there where they're manufactured in Bendigo. Do you want more bushmasters? Are they important in your ground battle?
Absolutely. Bushmasters have been spectacular on the Ukrainian battlefield. They have been instrumental in liberating places such as Kharkiv, which is the second largest city in Ukraine. And of course, you know, we would welcome if the Australian government decided to send more bushmasters to Ukraine, because this is the contribution to our joint effort, our war to protect the global freedom.
But you also want tanks, apparently, from Australia and other countries. What do you want from Australia when it comes to tanks, and why are tanks going to be so important?
Well, we are indeed inviting the members of the free world to join the International Tank Coalition for Ukraine, because the counter-offensive campaign will have to deal with very hard defense lines of the Russians on the temporarily occupied territories, and tanks, main battle tanks, will be instrumental. But I would like to say that when it comes to Australia, first of all, I would like to use this opportunity to thank the Australian people and the Australian government for standing with Ukraine, for sending us the bushmasters. And these superb vehicles that you can see behind me, the Hawkeyes, you know, they are fantastic as well. And I can tell you one thing, we are fighting a smart war. We are standing up against an enemy which doesn't have any regard for human life of their own soldiers. So the only way we can win, and what we're doing on the battlefield, we're fighting a smart war using modern weaponry. So while the Russians are taking off tanks from the historical monuments, we invite our partners to provide us with cutting-edge modern technology, and these Hawkeyes are just that. And trust me, when the Russians see these Hawkeyes on the battlefield in Ukraine, they will understand the meaning of the phrase, and they will know that we, and when I say we, I mean Ukraine as well as the international community, we are not here to spiders, excuse my swear words.